In this video, we'll be discussing about the topic graph of a quadratic polynomial and the maximum and minimum values of a quadratic polynomial. So the quadratic polynomial is defined as ax square plus bx plus c where a is not equal to 0. And the graph of this quadratic polynomial is parabola in shape. So we call it as a parabola because it is expressed in the form of y as a function of x. So it is either upwards or downwards. Okay, so to draw a parabola y is equal to ax square plus bx plus c, what are the necessary steps? I am stating it right now. So the first step is if a is greater than 0, a we call it as leading coefficient also, then the parabola will be upwards, opening upwards, or we can call it as upward parabola. Okay, if a is less than 0, then the parabola will be downwards, or we can call it as downward parabola. So the first thing you can easily check in the parabola is that if a is greater than 0, the parabola is upwards. If a is less than 0, the parabola is downwards. For example, if I say we have the parabola x square minus x plus 1, how I got to know that it will open upwards is that when I will put x tends to infinity, the y value will also tends to infinity, because this will become infinity square minus infinity plus 1. So this value will tends to infinity. So at x infinity, y will also be going to infinity. That's why the parabola will be opening upwards. If a is less than 0, then the parabola will be opening downwards. Now the next point is you need to check is intersection with x-axis. The parabola where the parabola is intersecting x-axis. For that, what you have to do is you have to put y is equal to 0. Why? Because equation of x-axis is y is equal to 0. So in the quadratic polynomial term, if you put y is equal to 0, you will get ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Now if d is greater than 0, then we will have real and distinct roots. Then our parabola be either of this kind or of this kind. If a is greater than 0, parabola will be opening upwards and it will be intersecting x-axis twice. If a will be less than 0, it will be opening downwards and it will intersect the x-axis twice. In case if d is equal to 0, then both the roots are equal. Then in that case, the parabola, if upwards, it will be touching the x-axis because both the roots are equal. So in this case, alpha will be equal to beta. And if the parabola is opening downwards, then it will be in this case alpha equal to beta, like that. And the third case is if d is less than 0, it means parabola has no real roots, it has non-real roots or complex roots, then it won't intersect x-axis. Either parabola will be opening upwards and not intersecting x-axis, it means it is above x-axis, or either it is below x-axis. So these are the cases of the parabola with x-axis. So if there are some intersection, you just have to put y equal to 0 and you can easily find it out. So these are the three cases. Third is we find the intersection with y-axis. Till now we had checked whether the parabola will be opening upwards or downwards. Then we checked out whether the parabola intersecting the x-axis or not by putting y equal to 0, and the equation of y-axis is x equal to 0. So in the equation, if you put x is equal to 0, you will get value of y as c. By putting x equal to 0, y will be c. So it means the parabola intersect the y-axis at 0 comma c. If c is positive, it will be above x-axis. If c is negative, it will be below x-axis. Okay. Now the fourth point is vertex of the parabola. Okay. So how to find the vertex of the parabola? The vertex, whether it is opening upwards or opening downwards, in terms of ABC, the value of the vertex is same. So the vertex in this case is minus b by 2a, comma minus d by 4a. Similarly, in this case, the vertex will be minus b by 2a, comma minus d by 4a. Obviously, these values will be different because the equation of both the graphs will be different. Now, how we concluded that the vertex will be minus b by 2a, comma minus d by 4a. This we will prove it right now. One more thing which you need to remember is that the parabola is symmetric about the vertical line passing through the vertex. In this case also parabola will be symmetric about the vertical line passing through the vertex, which is x is equal to minus b by 2a. So let's drive it now. So let's consider the parabola y is equal to axk plus bx plus c, which is a upward parabola right now, and it has say two roots alpha comma 0 and beta comma 0. Because we know that the parabola is symmetric about the line which is known as the axis of the parabola also, and it will intersect the parabola at the point which is denoted as v as vertex. So what will happen is that because the parabola is symmetric about this line, this coordinate p will be the midpoint of roots of the equation. So p will be the midpoint of alpha 0 and beta 0. So the coordinates of p will be alpha plus beta by 2 comma 0. Now because the equation of the parabola is axk plus bx plus c, and if we put this is equal to 0 and consider root as alpha comma beta, then alpha plus beta we already know that equals minus b by a. Okay, so this value will be equal to minus b by 2a comma 0. Now the coordinates of p we got to know is minus b by 2a comma 0. Now the vertical line passing through p, which is perpendicular to x-axis, will have equation x is equal to minus b by 2a. Now we got to know that the vertex v lies on this line, so the x coordinate of this will be minus b by 2a, and we have to find the coordinate y coordinate of this particular point v. Because this point v lies on the parabola axk plus bx plus c, so y value can be achieved by putting x value in the parabola as minus b by 2a. So I just put it, and we will do the calculations. So what we will get is y is equal to b square by 4a minus b square by 2a plus c. So this will be 4a times of minus b square plus 4ac. So if you see the value of this will be minus d divided by 4a, where d is our discriminant, b square minus 4ac. So you will get this coordinate as minus b by 2a comma minus d by 4a. Okay, so it is quite simple to calculate the coordinate of the vertex. So for making the parabola, this is quite necessary, because this will also give us in this case, if you see, this will also give us the minimum value, and in this case this will also give us the maximum value. So for making the parabola we need 4 points. What are those 4 points? We'll just recap through them. First is a. If a is greater than 0, the parabola is upwards, and if a is less than 0, the parabola is downwards. Okay, then we need to have the intersection with x-axis. For that you have to put y is equal to 0. Third, we have intersection with y-axis. For that you have to put x equal to 0. And the fourth point, which is the vertex coordinates, are minus b by 2a minus d by 4a. Now let's take an example of a parabola and try to sketch it. Let's try to sketch y is equal to xk minus x plus 1. This is a quadratic polynomial. A is 1, we'll just go step by step, we need to follow the 4 steps. A is 1, which is greater than 0, hence the parabola will be upwards, we already know this. Next, the second point is intersection with the x-axis. For that you have to put y equal to 0, you will get xk minus x plus 1 is equal to 0, and d is minus 3, which is negative, hence this won't have real roots, so it will have complex roots. It means it won't intersect x-axis, no intersection with x-axis. So the graph won't intersect x-axis. Third point was intersection with y-axis. If you put x equal to 0, you will get y as 1, so it will be intersecting the y-axis at this point 0 comma 1. Okay, now about the vertex. Vertex is fourth point, which is minus b by 2a, which is minus b by 2a half, and minus d by 4a. D we have calculated as minus 3, so minus d by 4a, which is 3 by 4. So the vertex is at this point 1 by 2 comma 3 by 4. So we made vertex at this point, which will be half comma 3 by 4. This coordinate will be half comma 3 by 4. Now because we already know the graph is symmetric about the vertex, so obviously we will draw a vertical line. Let's try to take few more points which will give us an idea where the graph will go, but precisely I am already able to find out that the graph will go like this. It will be opening upward and it will be passing through V as a minimum point. So let's take at x equal to 1. At x equal to 1, the value will be 1 only. So we will be taking this point through which the parabola will pass. Similarly, at x equal to 2, if you see, you will get 4 minus 2, which is 2 plus 1, 3. So at the parabola will pass through 2 comma 3 also. At minus 1, we will see this will pass through 3 also. So minus 1 comma 3 will be this point. So our parabola will be basically like this. Okay, so this kind of parabola we will get. So I hope it is clear how to draw a parabola using these 4 points. Now let's move on to the next topic, which is range of a quadratic polynomial. What do you mean by range? Is that range is the values of y or the function, okay, values of y or function for the domain of the function. And what is domain? Domain is the values of x for which function is defined. So we can consider a function like a box. Say there is a box f of x in which x or input will come, which we call as domain, and the output y will come, which we call as range. Now let's sketch the parabola if a is greater than 0, and we sketch the parabola ax square plus bx plus c. So we already know that the parabola will be opening upwards. It might intersect x-axis or it might not intersect x-axis. Let's say we have drawn this kind of a parabola, okay, and this is this parabola will be symmetric about this vertical line v, and the coordinate of v will be minus b by 2a comma minus d by 4a. So because it is a polynomial, quadratic polynomial, the domain of this quadratic polynomial is x belongs to R, or we can say that for x belonging to minus infinity to infinity. It means this graph is defined for all the values of x from minus infinity to infinity. This arrow shows that this graph is going to infinity at x tending to minus infinity. Similarly, in this side, when x tends to infinity, this graph will go to infinity. So definitely the domain of the graph will be x belongs to R. This is an important point to note down, that for all the polynomial functions, the domain is x belongs to R. Now moving on to the range of the polynomial function. The range of this polynomial function is the values of y for which the function is defined. For x belonging to minus infinity to infinity, if you see the graph, what are the values on the y-axis which the graph is taking? The graph is taking the values from this point onwards to infinity. So the range of the graph will be minus d by 4a to infinity. It's close minus d by 4a to infinity. So if you see, it is very clear that the function will achieve minimum value at x is equal to minus b by 2a. The function will achieve minimum value at x is equal to minus b by 2a, which is minus d by 4a. So the minimum value of the function is minus d by 4a, but at which particular x you are getting this thing? At x is equal to minus b by 2a. Overall minimum value of this function is minus d by 4a, at which x is equal to minus b by 2a. Okay, so if I ask the maximum value of this function, in this particular case the maximum value is tending to infinity, which is a not defined number. So we say that the maximum value in this case will be not defined. Now let's move on to the downward parabola. Let's say we have y is equal to ax square plus bx plus c where a is less than 0. So the parabola will be downward, and consider of this shape. So if I ask you the domain, definitely the domain will be x belongs to R, because this is again a polynomial function and it is defined from minus infinity to infinity. If I ask you about the range is the span along the y-axis. So if we see the span is the span is coming from minus infinity to this point, okay, till this level. So the range will be minus infinity to minus d by 4a close interval. Okay, so if I ask you the maximum value of y, the maximum value of y comes at the vertex point only at x is equal to minus b by 2a, which is equal to minus d by 4a, and the minimum value is basically tending to minus infinity, which is actually not defined. Okay, so you can easily say that if a parabola is upwards, then we can achieve a minimum value is equal to minus d by 4a at x equal to minus b by 2a. If a parabola is downward, we will achieve the maximum value of the function at x equal to minus b by 2a, and the value will be definitely equal to minus d by 4a. Moving on to the next topic. In this topic, we'll be discussing about 6 different cases of a quadratic polynomial, which is based on the graph of a quadratic polynomial only. Let's consider the function as ax square plus bx plus c and the roots as alpha comma beta if they exist, with alpha less than beta. In the first case, this graph will come in shape if and only if a is greater than 0 and d is greater than 0. I hope this is quite clear. If a is greater than 0, the parabola will be upwards, and if d is greater than 0, the roots will be real and distinct, and those are the points alpha comma beta where the graph will intersect the x-axis. Okay, now if suppose we were solving a problem and we face this kind of inequality, f of x is greater than 0, then what will be the result of that thing? This also we will get to know through the graph only, that if f of x is greater than 0, then it means that my function has values which are positive. So positive values means if you know the x-axis equation is y equal to 0. Above x-axis the y is positive and below x-axis y is negative. So in this particular expression, if I ask you fx is greater than 0, then you can clearly see that this part of the function is positive. Okay, and this part of the function is also positive. So for this particular inequality, our answer will be x belongs to minus infinity to alpha union beta to infinity. This is also quite useful in solving so many inequalities. I hope this is clear. If I say f of x is equal to 0, then what will happen is we will get the result x belongs to curly bracket alpha comma beta. Because there are only two values, so we don't write it in open or close intervals, we write it in curly brackets. If I'll say I have to get f of x is less than equal to 0, less than equal to 0 means we will be taking the values where f of x is negative or f of x is equal to 0. So in this case, the answer will be close interval alpha to beta. Now moving on to the next case. This is the case where the parabola is touching the x-axis and not going below the x-axis. So this will happen when a is greater than 0 and d is equal to 0. So this case will happen when a is greater than 0 and d is equal to 0, because at d equal to 0 both the roots will be equal. Secondly, if we ask this kind of a question that f of x is greater than 0, what are the values of the x for which f of x is positive, then the answer will be x belongs to r minus alpha, or we can write it as x belongs to r minus b by 2a, because the value of alpha will be minus b by 2a as d is equal to 0. Okay, if I ask you where f of x is less than 0, then the answer will be x belongs to phi, because in this case f of x is not less than 0. If I ask in this particular case where is f of x is less than equal to 0, so obviously this means that the function is either negative or equal to 0. Because function is not negative, function can be equal to 0 here, function is not below x-axis, so for less than 0 there will be no solution, but for equal to 0 the solution will be x belongs to curly bracket minus b by 2a. So for this expression f of x is less than equal to 0, there will be only one value, x belongs to minus b by 2a curly brackets. Okay, now moving on to the third case. In this case also the parabola is upward, but the graph is not intersecting the x-axis. So it is very clear that this graph does not have real roots. So this is the case when a is greater than 0 and simultaneously d is negative. Okay, so if I ask you what are the values of f of x greater than 0, what are the values of x for which f of x is greater than 0, then it means the answer will be x belongs to R. For complete number line, f of x is positive. If I ask f of x is greater than or equal to 0, the answer will remain same, because this inequality means either f of x is greater than 0 or f of x is equal to 0. If I ask f of x is equal to 0, is there a point where f of x is equal to 0? There is no point where f of x is equal to 0, because this graph is above x-axis. If I ask where f of x is less than 0, so again there is no point where f of x is less than 0. Moving on to the next graph. Now this parabola is downward, so obviously a will be negative, and simultaneously because it is intersecting the x-axis at two roots, alpha 0 and beta 0, so d will be greater than 0. So this is the scenario when alpha is less than 0 and d is greater than 0. In this case, if I ask where is f of x greater than 0, then the answer will be open interval alpha to beta. Okay. If I ask where f of x is equal to 0, then the answer will be curly bracket alpha comma beta. Okay, curly bracket alpha comma beta. If I ask where is f of x is less than or equal to 0, so less than or equal to 0 means this part f of x is negative, and in this part f of x is negative, and hence x belongs to, answer will be minus infinity to alpha close union beta to infinity. In this case, parabola is touching the x-axis and it is downwards, and hence we will have the condition a is less than 0 and d is equal to 0. I hope this is getting clear. It's quite simple. A is less than 0 and d is equal to 0, because both the roots are equal. If I ask what are the values of x for which f of x is less than 0, then the answer will be x belongs to R minus b by 2a, obviously because at minus b by 2a f of x is equal to 0. If we ask f of x is less than or equal to 0 for what values of x, then x will be belonging to R, because for complete number line f of x is less than or equal to 0. If we ask f of x is greater than 0, then it will be not possible in this case, because f of x is only negative or equal to 0. Now the last case is where the graph is downwards and is not intersecting the x-axis. In this case, f of x is always negative, and the condition for this is a is less than 0 and d is less than 0. Okay, a is less than 0 and d is less than 0. So if I ask where is f of x is less than 0, then it is clear that for x belongs to R, f of x is less than 0. Similarly, if I ask f of x is equal to 0 at which point x belongs to phi. Okay, if we ask f of x is greater than 0 at which point, obviously x belongs to phi. I hope these 6 cases are clear. Now we have discussed about the graph of the quadratic polynomial and their 6 different cases. On basis of those different cases, the following results can be asked directly. So you have to relate these results with the graph and then try to solve the problem. Let's look at the first result. If ax square plus bx plus c is greater than 0 for all x belongs to R. What this means is, diagrammically this means that the parabola ax square plus bx plus c is always above x-axis. So if you see this kind of expression, this should come in your mind that the graph will be like this, and accordingly you will apply the condition that a should be greater than 0 and d should be less than 0. By applying this condition, you can be able to solve the problem. Moving on to the second condition, ax square plus bx plus c is greater than 0 for all x belongs to R. What this means is that if we have this kind of parabola which is above x-axis, this will satisfy this inequality because the values are positive. So if I'll write, say 2 is greater than or equal to 0, this is a correct statement. So this parabola will satisfy this condition. Also, this parabola will also satisfy when the parabola will be touching the x-axis. So the first case is a is greater than 0 and d is less than 0. And the second case is A is greater than 0 and D is equal to 0. Combining these two, we get the condition that A is greater than 0 and D will be less than equal to 0. For these kind of expressions, we will directly use this condition that A is greater than 0 and D is less than equal to 0. Now moving on to the third, you see that the polynomial term is always below x-axis because it is negative. Okay, so the condition will definitely be A is less than 0 and D is less than 0. Now for the fourth case, the picture which will come in your mind about the parabola is that it can be either touching the x-axis, okay, or it can be below x-axis also. So in this case, the condition will be A less than 0 and D is less than equal to 0. Why? Because in this case A is less than 0, D is equal to 0. In this case A is less than 0 and D is less than 0. I hope all these four statements are quite clear. So these statements are quite handy for solving so many problems. So try to understand them very clearly.